Alright, hey guys, what's up? Welcome to part 3 of this tutorial series. Oh, excuse me. And what we're gonna do now is we just declared what the timer is equal to. So now we have to start the timer. So just type in start, simple enough. And now, interestingly, now we have to make it so the start button cannot be enabled. So we want it to be disabled so they can't click it, because keep in mind they've just clicked the start button, so they've clicked it once. We don't want them to do this one time in the while they're playing, because if they click it again it would just mess up the whole program. So to that you just type in start button set enabled false, and then now remember up here, where was that? It was somewhere right here. Click button set enabled false. When we first started it, we had the click button not enabled, so now we need to enable it so they can actually do their clicking. So click button set enabled true. Got it? Alright, now find where your try block ends, which is right here, and type in catch number format exception, and let's call it EX. And then what are we going to say if they have a number format exception? Well, we'll set the text field and we'll say numbers only. Alright, so simple enough. So done with this class. It was 20 lines of code. So now we got to do our click button class. So what happens when they actually click the button, which they're going to do repeatedly, probably about 5 to 6 times a second, depending on how fast they can click. So click button class. Let's see, implements action listener. Oh my god, I'm done. What class? Alright. And then what did I call this? Click button class. Public void. Duh. Alright. So what do we want to happen? Well, this one's actually pretty simple. All we want to do is increment click counter, which is a variable that we declared up here, and I think, did we declare it to 0? I don't know, but anyways, it starts at 0, so it's just gonna go up from 0, up, however many times they click this button. Remember, they can only click the start button once during the cycle of the program, but they click this button up to like maybe 5 or 6 times a second, depending on how fast they can click. So, and then we just want to update the label so they can see how many times they've clicked. So, click label, set text, and then clicks, and just say plus click counter. Alright, so done with that one. That's pretty simple. Now we're going to do our time class, and this is going to be almost identical to our last series, where we made it like a simple countdown timer. So I'm not going to go through this too in depth. Alright, now remember we have to actually make an int right away and call it, it's called timer counter. And then we actually have to have a constructor so we can set our timer counter equal to our timer counter, which makes no sense at all, but you gotta do it. Yeah, and I screwed up here. Forgot. We have to actually pass something into this constructor and call it time count. Like that, and that's gave us an error because we haven't made this constructor yet. So, public time class, and then in here we put in int timer counter. And you don't really have to understand what this is doing. It's just making the timer know like what number to start counting down from. So type in this timer counter is equal to timer counter. Yeah, it's pretty confusing, but whatever. And then public void action performed. Alright, so the first thing I'm going to do is decrement timer counter. And then just a couple if else statements. So if let's see, if timer counter is greater than or equal to 1, we want to set our time left label to say whatever time they have left. So, and we're gonna have it say time left else. That means they're done. So they've finished the program. Stop the timer. Set the label to say done. Disable the click button so they cannot click anymore. So click button set enabled. And at this point, all of our buttons are going to be disabled, so that's why I built in a reset feature so we can reset the game. And this is optional, I suppose, but just make a little beeping sound. There we go. Alright. I mean, this is pretty self-explanatory. We just did this thing, so it knows what to start at. We decrement that, and if it's above 1, that means they have time left. We say, or else they're done. Stop the timer. Say done. Click. Make the button false, so they're done, so they can't click the button anymore. And then make a little emit a beeping sound. So, yeah. Alright. Now, just do our reset class, and then we see our exit class, and finally, our main method. So see, this is a pretty long program. Public class, reset class. Alright, now, what do we want to do in here? Well, we want to, just like when we launched the program, the click button was false. So when we click the reset, we want to make it almost look like as if we just started the program. So, click button, false. Whoa, set enabled, false. And then we just, our click button, our start button, we need it to be true, because remember up here, somewhere right here, we made it false, so we need to make it back to true. So start button set enabled true. Alright. And then reset our click counter to 0. And just reset our labels and our text field to what they originally were. So our click label originally said clicks 0. And our text field had nothing in it, so say nothing. And time left originally said time left question mark. That's what it originally said when we first made the program. And then I'm gonna save a little time and just do this. Call it exit class, and this was exit class. And all we want to do for the exit class is pretty easy, just system exit 0. Alright. Maybe I can do the main method. Public voids. If I can even get the correct order, public string args. Yeah, I'm just gonna wait until the next tutorial to do this. I think I'll go over this a little bit better. So, what we did for the reset class was when we click it, we want to make it almost look like we just opened the program. So so our click button is false. Our start button has to be true because we set it to false right here. And then we gotta do we gotta reset our labels to what they were. So our click label originally said clicks 0, and our time left said question mark. Our text field originally was nothing, and in case they tripped the error or something, we have to set it to nothing. And then click counter, we just gotta reset to 0, so it can start from 0 back up to like however many they can get in their specified time. So anyways, tune in for part 4, and we'll finally finish this thing and get to see how it works.